Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Antonia. I'm going into my third year of medical school in the UK, and on my channel I make videos about medicine and pretty much anything else that comes into my head, but mostly medicine. You're probably noticing like new background again. I'm in my sister's room because my sister's rooms get really good lighting and I'm trying to use up that natural light. So today I just wanted to do a quick video on how to write a medical personal statement. So I'm filming this at the end of July, and around this time is when people start to write their personal statements for medicine. The medicine deadline in the UK is 15th of October. By that day you need to have done all your admissions tests, have your personal statement in, have your whole application in with like predicted grades and references and things, and then you send it off to UCAS. So yeah, I know writing a personal statement for me was really difficult. I had so many drafts that I showed my parents, that I showed my teachers, and I think I've kind of collated from all of those sources a kind of good structure that works. I used it, and obviously I'm in medical school now, so it was successful for me. I know a couple of friends who've used it both for medicine and for other subjects as well. I'm just gonna give you guys that structure and hopefully it can help you guys as well, or at least give you some ideas as to how to write your personal statement. A quick disclaimer before I get into the video: this is by no way, shape or form the definitive way of writing a medical personal statement. There are loads of different ways to do it. I just know that if I had been able to see a quick video on YouTube about an idea for a structure for my personal statement, it probably would have been a lot quicker. I would have written less drafts. So it's just ideas. It's not the way to get into medicine definitively, but you know, it worked for me and my friends. So yeah, let's get into the video. So my sister's applying for uni. She's actually not applying to medicine, but a couple of her friends are, and were talking to me about how they feel like their personal statement sounds cringy. Your personal statement is going to sound cringy. 95% of personal statements written are cringy because you need to show your passion, you need to show your like why you want to do it, like proof of why you want to do a certain subject. And for us, that is cringy. It's weird to kind of talk about yourself like that, but you need to write it down so you can show the admissions tutors why you want to go on the course. So just work through the cringe. That's what we've all had to do. It sucks, but yeah, it works. So the structure I'm going to be going through in this video is why medicine, work experience, extracurriculars, and then a little sentence at the end reaffirming why you want to study medicine. So I'm going to just break those down. The why medicine part basically should just be a quick overview of why you want to study medicine. I've heard many rumors and many kind of tales about what you're not supposed to put in the first opening parts of your personal statement. I've heard, you know, don't put in family members, don't put in quotes, don't put in etc, etc. What I will say on those two, with the quote, I think people say don't use a quote because it's not personal to you really. A quote is just something that someone else has said. It may be inspirational, and if you can work it in a way that you can maybe put an interesting twist on it or something like that, then yes, go ahead. But the problem is you have 4,000 characters with your personal statement, or 47 lines, and you don't want to waste a line or a set amount of characters on something that someone else has said. It's better for it to be straight from you. With the family member side, I actually wrote about a family member in my opening statement of my personal statement, and I was fine. Like, I got into medical school. I think with that, just make sure if you're going to do it, make sure that you're reflecting on it for the right reasons. So I think the best way to reflect on it would be to go down the route that you were fascinated or interested in how the doctors diagnosed and treated the family member or friend, as opposed to focusing on any other detail of that. But then again, a lot of people find it hard to kind of focus on that part, which is why people will say, oh, just avoid it completely. But if you're going to, just make sure you're reflecting on it from the doctor's point of view as well as the family point of view. But yeah, it's always good to keep, you know, like 1, 2, 3 sentences at the start, just to kind of set the scene almost as to like why you were initially interested in medicine. The next part is the work experience part, and this should be the biggest part of your personal statement. So when I say work experience, I mean shadowing doctors in hospital, a GP setting, any kind of volunteering you might have done, like in a care home or a hospice, etc. And again, the key here is to reflect. I feel like I'm going to say reflect a lot here. They want you to reflect on those experiences in your personal statement, because that is what you do in medical school, and as a doctor you reflect on your performance a lot, you reflect on experiences you've had a lot. So showing that you can reflect on those experiences in your personal statement shows the admissions tutor that you're meant for the course, essentially. So with that, personally what I did was reflect on a couple of things I saw in my work experience and in volunteering, and then spoke about how that particular experience affected me, or what I picked up from the patient's family, the doctor, the nurse, that really interested me or kind of intrigued me. So I think that's the way you should do it. So if you're going through your work experience, definitely take a notebook so you can write down not only identifying features of the patient, so name, age, date of birth or anything like that, but write down maybe some key cases that you saw that really inspired you or intrigued you, and write down why they did that as well, so you can kind of reflect on that in your personal statement. I think I put in 2 or 3 examples of that, and that is I found that worked for me. I think that is a good number of experiences to reflect on in that sense. And also, if you can maybe take an example from a hospital setting and an example from volunteering, it shows good range as well. I think if people do taster courses, so I did a taster course at my local hospital when I was in year 11, that's the point to put that in as well. So the next part is extracurriculars, and under this point I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. Is this everything you do outside of your education? So if you do sports, if you play instruments, if you've done Duke of Edinburgh, a National Citizen Service, NCS, anything like that you feel that you can reflect on well again, like put it in. In my opinion, the key with extracurriculars is making sure that you pick out key skills that you've demonstrated whilst doing those courses or those sports, playing those instruments, performing wherever, and reflecting on those. So an example, if you play on a team or you're a team captain, that shows that you have good leadership skills. And if you play an instrument and you've been playing it for X amount of years, that shows that you are very disciplined and dedicated. And also with extracurriculars, admissions tutors like to make sure that you actually have hobbies outside of medicine and education, because you will need them when you're in medical school and when you're a doctor. I think that's the best way to reflect on that. I remember my teacher said that it should be around a 70-30 split. So the why medicine, work experience, and the final statement at the end reaffirming why you want to do medicine should be the 70%, and then your extracurricular should be about 30%ish. Basically just play around with it and see what works for you, because you don't want it to be really abrupt, but you want to show that you have a breadth of skills from your extracurriculars as well. So the last section in this little structure is the final reaffirming statement for medicine. In my opinion, this should be really simple, as in it should be 1 or 2 lines maximum, and should just, restate that you think that your experiences and your extracurricular skills that you've gained would make you well suited for the course of medicine. Again, I'd say with this part, don't overcomplicate it, because I spent so long trying to look for a punchy, exciting way to end it, when in reality, you just need to show that you've reflected, or even on your personal statement, you've reflected on what you've written and the skills that you've shown and the experiences that you've had, and then that will make you suited for the course in your eyes. And I think it can literally be as simple as that. You don't have to look for anything punchy. If you are very skilled with words and you find something like that and you're sure of it, then you can put it in. But if not, if you struggle like I did, just saying that you've reflected on your work experiences and the skills gained through extracurriculars, and you basically have come to the conclusion that medicine would be a good fit for you, I think that should be a good ending as well. In terms of any final tips for personal statements, start it early. If you're seeing this in July, August time, you need to start writing your personal statement quick, because the October deadline comes so quickly. You don't want to be caught in a situation where you're not happy with what you're giving in because you haven't spent enough time on it. So I would definitely suggest just working on it now. Do bit by bit a day and send it off to someone to read through it. If they get back to you quickly, they can just make those tweaks. Hopefully by the time you get to September, October time, you should have something that you're really, really happy to submit. Yeah. Hopefully this has been really useful to you guys. If it has been, please feel free to leave a thumbs up on this video. Subscribe down below and leave any video ideas that you potentially want. If you want me to maybe read through my personal statement, even though the last time I remember reading it, it was very cringy, I didn't mind doing it if it gives some inspiration. And yeah, any other video ideas, leave them down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!